Hey guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. It's Sunday, so that means it's time for another week's weigh-in. Alright guys, happy Sunday. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Hopefully things are getting a little bit better, a little bit easier to deal with because this is the new normal for everybody. If you are on my Instagram, you saw me a little bit more emotional yesterday. I've been having a lot of those days lately because of my weigh-ins. They've not been going the way I wanted to. I was looking at it, especially yesterday, starting March 8th. I have been fluctuating the same 3 pounds over and over. And that's kind of frustrating, especially since that is before the whole quarantine and everything started, because my work officially closed on the 20th. So it's not all due to stress. And I really appreciate the kind words of people saying, you know, it's stress, don't let it get to you and all that. But guys, like, honestly, I'm not stressed out right now. I'm okay right now. And have been. The first week, the very first time I gained weight, yes, that I will say was a stress gain, an emotional gain, all of that jazz. Ever since then, I've gotten my mentality in check, and my body's just been a little bit wonky. And I don't know why. I've been analyzing and looking at, and there have been different reasons. But first, I do want to get into this week's numbers, and then I have some goals that I'm going to be setting up for myself and some things that I'm going to be changing in order to make my journey go a little bit better during this time. All right, so my official weigh-in, and I'll put the numbers over here. My official weigh-in is 71.2. So that means I lost 0.2 pounds this week for a total of 59.6 off. Again, if you were on my Instagram story, you saw me, I stepped to the scale yesterday and I was up 2+ pounds. And that frustrated me. And at the same time, it fueled me. I worked harder and I made sure I got out, got my exercise, and moved as much as I could. And I feel like it helped if that gain was real. There have been times that I have checked the day before and it showed a tiny bit of an up, and then on actual weigh-in day, it goes down. I'm actually going to experiment this week, I think, and step on the scale every day and see how much it changes throughout the entire week. Tomorrow's step in will be a little bit scary because, you know, Sundays I do use my weekly points. But just to see how it fluctuates throughout a week. Yeah. So down 0.2 pounds. That is good. I'm torn about it because I'm still not down to where I was a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago. I'm losing track of time and my phone has the chart. But I needed to lose 0.4 pounds to lose everything that I had gained. And I lost 0.2 pounds. So that's a little bit frustrating, but it is still the scale moving in the right direction. So while I am not 100% happy, that is still progress. It's not a week where I had a loss and then had a gain the next week. I lost 2 pounds last week. I lost 0.2 pounds this week. That's still a loss. So I am trying to wrap my head mentally around that. I've gotten a little bit spoiled, guys. Like, typically when I do well, when I do what I'm supposed to do, I can lose 2 pounds a week on average. And that's not happening right now, but it's still happening. I'm working towards my goals. I'm still going to get there eventually. That's what I have to remind. So first, I want to talk about some non-scale victories I've had this week, and then I'm going to talk about the things that I'm focusing on and changing. So I feel like it's important to focus on non-scale victories when the scale isn't always showing what you want it to show. So like I did those yes.fit races. You know, I decided to start back up on those, and I joined the unicorn race. And I am doing well on it. I am 29% of the way through. I think it's 121 miles. And so I'm 29% of the way through after this week. That is pretty cool to me. Granted, I am not doing what I did last time when I did these because I just want motivation to move. So right now it is tracking the whole day. All my steps are going towards this. You can set it up so that it does that, where whatever you do throughout the day goes towards your goals. Or after I'm back to work, and what I was doing the last time I did these races, you can set it up so that only your actual exercises are them. So when I go for a walk, specific walk, then that would be track. So like, on average, like this week I've been doing 2 to 3 mile walks, and I could only track those if I wanted to. Right now I'm not. I'm tracking everything, and my hair is not behaving. It's the first shampoo after I colored, so it's like, wow. Okay, anyway, so that is great. I'm working on that. I've added some other people. I think there's 3 of us total doing that. And right now I'm in second place. There's one girl ahead of me. She's at 31%, so good job. Okay, also this week, granted it was only once, but it's more than what I was doing. I did one non-cardio workout. I don't really want to call it a strength training workout because I didn't do a lot. Honestly, I only did 10 reps of things. So I did sit-up. I can't do a sit-up. Let's be real. I did crunches. I did squats. I did push-ups, the knee push-ups. I can't do a real push-up either. And then I also took my kettlebell and was doing some things. I don't even really know. I was just kind of making it up. I'm going to actually watch some YouTube videos and go along with them online. I'm trying to find dumbbells. I was just looking, and they are ridiculously high priced right now because they're a non-essential item, I guess, and because they're probably in high demand. I was actually looking for the adjustable weight ones where, you change the settings and it has a different weight. And yeah, they're showing like several hundreds of dollars. A couple of them were over $1,000. That's not happening. I do want some handbells, or dumbbells. There we go. So I'm going to try to find something somewhere. Maybe I'll go to a Walmart or something like that. I checked their website, and the adjustable ones they're out of, but maybe they'll have some set weights. I just need like a 20-pound one, not the little 2 or 3 pound one. I need something with a little bit of heft to it. But yeah, so anyway, I did one of those. I want to increase that, and I want to do it a little bit harder, where I actually feel it, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's just your sore muscles. None of my muscles were sore after that. It was better than not moving, but it wasn't enough to actually feel anything. All right, and the last thing that was a non-scale victory for me this week, you guys know it's hard for me this week. It was the anniversary of my mother's death, and that's always very, very hard. It was a very emotional day. I did not exercise, but I did not binge. That is the first time in 10 years that I didn't binge on the anniversary of her death. And okay, so that's the first time that I did not binge in 10 years. And that is a huge non-scale victory for me. I did get depressed. I did get down. My anxiety was through the roof, but I didn't reach for food. That really, really meant a lot to me. And I feel like I'm doing her proud by not using that as a reason to binge. So yeah. All right. Okay. Focus. All right. So I want to change things up. I want to focus on different things, and I want to do what I can to learn from what is going on. So the first change that I really am trying to work on, and these aren't in any specific order. So the first change that I'm really trying to work on is, I just said first. One of the changes that I'm trying to work on is to focus on sleep. I've been waking up early every day, which is great. I actually enjoy waking up with going outside with the birds with a cup of coffee or a glass of water, listening to the birds sing, and I do a little good morning video on YouTube and in my Facebook groups. Not on YouTube, on Instagram. And that makes me happy. But I need to get to work on going to bed earlier. I've been averaging anywhere between 4 and 6 hours of sleep a night, and that can definitely be a factor for weight loss. Your body needs time to rejuvenate. Yeah, so I'm going to be working on that this week. And then also, I am going to start tracking with iTrackBytes. So I know iTrackBytes. I've used it a ton, but honestly, the past month or so, maybe 2, I used to track on both. Maybe a little bit longer. But either way, I started only tracking on Weight Watchers, the Weight Watcher app. But I need to track on iTrackBites because one, it still has the points. I use the Sugar Smart plan, and it is the same thing as the Weight Watcher Green plan. But tracking on iTrackBites, there is a secondary measure you can do where you can set it up for either macros or calories. And I have mine set up for calories. So I need to pay attention to calories. And I'm going to track 0 point foods. I feel like a huge difference now that I actually look back and think about the past few weeks. I typically don't track 0 point foods, especially on green, because it's just certain fruits and vegetables. And I typically just don't track them. And while I have not been going overboard, I have been having more of them, especially because like while I've been on this quarantine, I've been having more meals or more time eating than what I used to have. And that could be a huge, huge part. So with iTrackBites, it's even if I have a cup of grapes, or I don't know the calories on that. So let's say if I have a banana is 110 calories. And I've been having those and not tracking them. So that, the bananas, the apples, all of those could be a contributing factor. While, I don't believe that it's going to be a huge, huge factor because it's really hard to gain weight from fruit or vegetables. But they do still have a lot of sugar. They do have some carbs, things like that. So I'm going to track them in my iTrackBites app and kind of steer a little bit away from the Weight Watchers app. I think I'll probably still track on both for right now. But I'm going to go more that route so that I can see calories, and maybe that'll help me second guess whether I want to have a handful of grapes or a couple of bananas, because I love bananas. Like, you guys know I love bananas, and that can be a contributing factor. So I think that will help me at least be a little bit more aware of the calories that are going in my body rather than just the points. Sorry, there is a hair that is getting me. Okay. So that. And then the last thing that I am working on is to take my own damn advice. I don't want to say coach, but kind of coach a lot of people in the different Facebook groups. If somebody is complaining, if somebody is feeling bummed out or down about the way their scale is moving, I'm a big cheerleader for that. And you guys have been super helpful of being my cheerleaders. Thank you so much. Everybody that's messaged, commented on previous videos or on my Instagram, direct messages or comments, those meant the world to me. But I tend to do that for a lot of other people and give advice to them, but not take my own advice. So 4 things that I wrote down that if somebody was complaining like I've been complaining, that I would say to them, I am officially saying to myself. So 1, trust the program. A lot of times when things aren't going the way we love, we want to change it up, which some changing is good. Some changing is needed, but it's like, okay, I'm going to switch to this plan. I'm going to switch to this. This isn't working. I'm going to go spend money on this. Maybe not. Maybe just trust the program, write it out, because eventually it will get there. Your body is adjusting. And then the second thing I would tell them is see what you can learn from what happened. So like me looking back and seeing, okay, the sleep, the not moving, which I learned last week, the not moving around as much as I used to, the maybe tracking calories on top of points, those things. I'm learning from that. And then the next one I would say is move on. Don't let it get you depressed. Okay, this is the next 2. Don't let it get you depressed. Use that as fuel to work harder and do better. And that's what I started doing this week. This week it got a bump in the road because of the anniversary. So Thursday and Friday I did not exercise. I stayed within my points, but I barely got out of my gaming chair. But besides that, I started moving around more. I'm using this as fuel to work harder and do better. And that is what will help me. Getting down, getting depressed, getting bummed out that things aren't going the way I want them. I was telling Ange over at Smack Vision this morning, I'm like, I need to stop being a whiny baby. We all have those moments, and that's okay. But eventually enough is enough, and we have to move on. We have to use it to fuel ourselves to work harder. So that is all stuff that I tell other people, and then I turn around and do the same thing. So now I'm officially telling myself that and listening to myself, and I'm going to do better, and I'm going to be doing well. Not that I've been doing horrible, but you can always improve. There's always something more you can do. And that is what I'm going to be doing. I have a good feeling about this upcoming week, which is funny because it's only Sunday. I have a whole week until my next weigh-in, but I can already tell that my brain is in a better state than where it has been the last couple of weigh-ins. So that is exciting for me. All right, I've been rambling for 15 minutes now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, like I said, your weeks are doing well. Hopefully all of this made sense to you. And again, thank you for being the cheerleaders. Feel free to keep being my cheerleaders. I really, really need it. And I'm going to keep doing my best to cheer you guys on. So comment down below. Let me know what's going on in your world. Let me know what you feel about, my world. And like my video, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. And I will talk to you guys later.